Today we are going to be making your ePortfolio. What you need to understand is that an ePortfolio is a page where we're going to display all the work that you're going to be doing throughout this course. So today we are just getting the page started. You're actually not going to turn in this page until you're all finished at the end of the course and you've submitted everything as we've gone along throughout the course. Thus, to get started, we're going to just create our home page and get all the pages set up. And then as we go throughout the year, we'll input more things. So go ahead and click on this link right here. This is Google Sites. We're going to be creating a Google site. When you get in, you're going to hit blank site. Then you're going to be brought to a page like this. It's very easy to use Google Sites. Let's first go give it a name. And you're going to put your name. So whatever your name is, ePortfolio. So for instance, I'm just going to put, since I'm Mr. Blake, that's my name, Mr. Blake ePortfolio. And then the same thing you're going to have in your page title. I'm going to put Mr. Blake's and you put your name so we know what it is. E stands for electronic. So it's your electronic portfolio because it's a portfolio of your work that's found electronically. All righty. Now, on the right-hand side, you're going to notice we have the insert button, the pages, and the themes. I am going to go ahead and set a theme for what I want for the page to look like. So I can look for these different themes. You can choose whatever one you want and really look around. Maybe I'll just go with the simple one. And then I can do other things as well inside of that theme. Like I could change the color. I could change the font style and make it look different. And actually, I'm going to go with this one just to switch it up. Then from there, there's other things that you can do on your ePortfolio for design, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Sorry, I was just I want to find one I like legitimately. So I'll go with that one for now. And now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to we're going to actually edit this header up here. So up here on the header, you have header type. You can keep yours just as a banner. I mean, you can switch it to other things and see what it looks like, but I think a banner is probably the best one to go with. And then you can choose to have an image be behind there if you don't like what's behind there. So you could go and select and put in an image like one of these other design images, or you can go and find your own image. I'm going to go with that one. You could do the upload feature and find an image on your computer, whatever you want it to be. Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about themes, let's go to pages. Here's the pages section right here. And notice I have my home page, and on the bottom there's a plus button because I'm going to be adding in some other pages. So let's go to Canvas to see what are the other pages I'm going to be adding. In this section right here, you can see the names of the pages I need. So I already got my home. So the next one's going to be sales and advertising. I'm going to do Control C there. So I can copy that and I have to type it in. I'm going to go over to the page of my portfolio and click on the plus on the bottom and hit Control V. That way I don't have to type it in. That way I can just paste it in, my sales and advertising, and hit done, and it makes a new page. I'm going to continue that process to make my other 3 pages. We got audio, video. I also got social media. And then my last one is going to be the global business trip. And I'm going to hit the plus and add that in. Perfect. Coming back to the Canvas page, you're going to notice that inside of each page, I have listed here the assignments that we're going to be doing that you're going to be putting into those pages throughout the year. So really can't do anything in Global Business Trip, nor in social media, nor in audio video, nor in sales and advertising. All this stuff we're going to do later on. What you can do is put some stuff in the homepage. You can put an awesome picture of yourself. You can also do a brief bio that tells a little bit about you and makes the page more personal. And then you can also do a paragraph that explains the elements of the portfolio, such as this is a portfolio for my DBA class where I display my various projects and assignments. These other 2 you also can't do right now, but later on you'll be able to do. So let's just focus on these 3. Let's go back and get started by putting in a picture of myself. So to insert a picture, you go to Insert, and you have these options of things you can insert. Text box, images, embed, and drive. Right now, we'll be using the other ones later on, but right now, let's just focus on text box and images. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to put in an image. I'm going to go and select an image. All of you are going to ask, well, how do I get an image of myself? To get an image of yourself, you have some options. You can go to Skyward. Inside of Skyward, you can find the picture of yourself. you can use the snipping tool to snip around that picture of yourself and then save the snipping tool image that you have created, and then you have it saved to your computer to use. You can also go home, or actually you could also take a picture of yourself from the Chromebook and then add that in. You can go home and find a picture at your home computer and do this at home, but you got to have a picture of yourself. Okay, so I have a picture of myself I'm already going to use. Thus, before I get started inside of my insert, I want to choose my content blocks. Like, what design do I want? So I want to have this one right here where I have my picture and then I have some text on the side. Now that I got that set up, I'll click on my picture. I'm going to go ahead and upload from my computer. And then here's one of me and my documents. You'll have yours wherever you saved yours to. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and then I can change the size of where I want my picture to be, like that. Now I got my text box. So remember, let's go back in here to the instructions. I got your picture of myself. The second one is I need a brief bio about myself. It makes the page personal. So here in the content box, you're going to tell a little bit about yourself. For instance, I could be like, hello world, because I don't know who's reading this. I am a teacher of technology, because that's what mostly I teach. I enjoy teaching students how to use digital business applications. That's what this class is about. I enjoy helping students learn how to use digital business apps. I as well love exercising and spending time with my family. So that's a little bit about me. Now that text is really big, so you can highlight this all and shrink that down. I don't want mine to be that big. You can also change the style of what it looks like to whatever you want. So maybe I'll put it like right there, because I also got to make space for my other text box I'm going to bring in. So then I'm going to come look at my next section here. I'm going to have a paragraph that explains the elements of the ePortfolio, and look, I can actually just steal what Mr. Blake gave me. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, hit Control C and come over here. And then in this text box, I'm going to hit Control V. And then I'll change the size as well. This one I went with Arvo. I would recommend keeping it the same text, because then it looks, the flow of the page is better. But you can change the size. So I'll go with 14 on that one, a little bit about it. And then I can move these around as needs be if I want to. When you're using the content blocks though, as you see, it's forcing me to keep it inside this content blocks. The only way to make it bigger is to just change the size. If you don't want to go with the content blocks, you could actually manually just go add a text box. For instance, I could go like this and manually add it and not use that box and get rid of that box. So that's what I'm showing you right here. And then I have more options to like kind of shrink it down and put the box where I want it. And then I can get rid of this one right here that was causing me issues. So maybe I'll first get rid of this entire thing, and then I could take this one and put it where I want it. Anyways, I'm just going to Control Z and leave it as it is. I think it's fine as it is. If it doesn't bother you, you can leave it as it is. Maybe you just want to change the size and make it a little bigger. All right, that's as far really as we're going to get in terms of putting in information on my homepage. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to match up the themes, and you want to have consistency. In other words, when I go from the homepage to the global business trip to the social media, to whatever page, I want to make sure it looks like I'm on the same website. Let me give you an example. If I go to ESPN.com, ESPN.com has its main page. But then they have these different pages within the page. So if I wanted to go to the NFL, for instance, it looks like the exact same homepage layout. Let's say I'm going to go to NBA. It looks like the exact same homepage layout. They have their images in the center. They have these boxes on the left, then also on the right. They have the title the same. We have the scores up top. It's the same design. You know you're on the same webpage. There's great consistency. My 49ers better win the Super Bowl and not choke for me. Anyways, that's what you want to have, is the same consistency. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because inside of your pages, I'm going to go to here, my home page, make sure I'm here. You can change this header, but then also as you change things up within your page, You can also, and look, I put it on the wrong page. It's supposed to be on my home page, and I just realized it. What a nincompoop I am. So now I'm going to have to come back to my home page. I'm happy I made a mistake like this, and you guys can learn from my mistake. I'll hurry and throw in that picture because that was an easy one. And then I'll also just copy and paste everything else over from the other one. What a nincompoop. So then I'm going to go back to my global business trip. I'll come over here, click on this one, and then this has a copy duplicate. Well, actually, I'll just go Control C, and then I'll go over to my home page and I'll Control V everything in. Same thing there. Sorry to take a little bit more of your time, but that way if you make a mistake like I did, you can see you can just easily copy and paste things over. All right, now I'm going to go back to that global business trip and just get rid of this stuff. Anyways, going back to my home page, as you put in content, you're going to notice on the left-hand side, you have these three buttons: duplicate section, delete section, or section colors. This is the one I want to focus on, is section colors. You have different section colors you can go with of your document. See how it's changing the color? You could also even make it an image in the background. So whatever you do on this page, make sure it mimics on all the other pages. Like I can make it fade in with the background. I'm going to keep it white as it is, to be honest. I could also go and make it an image or a design. I think an image would be stupid because it would take away from your content, and there wouldn't be good, what you call, I just went blank on the word, but contrast. You want to have good contrast, so your text is easy to see in your images. So I went with that one. Again, I came here and I just went image and I found a design that I liked. So I didn't get an actual image, I got a design, which I think is good. So now what I got to do is I need to go to all my other pages and mimic that and make sure I have all of that. So it's not going to necessarily let you do that until you have something in here, and then you'll be able to do it. So then I have a section and I can go to image and I can go to select, and then I can grab that exact same one, which was this one, was the one I used, and then I can put that in there. So make sure when you go from one page to the next, it has the same color design, it has the same title up here, you're not switching the header. So keep your header the same on all pages, don't go put in a different header. Also, keep your design elements the same in terms of section colors. All right, that's about as far as we're going to get to today. So what you're going to do now is you are going to, at the end of the course, we'll turn on the whole entire thing. We'll do that later on. But for today, just to prove that you've gotten this far after accomplishing all the pages, you're going to take a screenshot of your home page using the snipping tool and submit it to this Canvas page. So I'll just come down here. I'll grab the snipping tool. Here's my snipping tool. I'll go new. I'll just take a picture like this, save this to my computer, and then I'm going to submit this to this Canvas page. So this is the part to focus on. That's all you're turning in. All this other stuff says don't worry about anything else. We'll turn in the rest of the course at the end of the year when it's all done. All right, good luck.